Finally, an official conversion of a Hollywood movie star. Okay, so what this game actually is a race where you are in a Chevy, and they've just made a really terrible pun on the name Chevy Chase. It's a 1991 budget game, $2.99 from Hi-Tec. Starting off on the Spectrum, you can change the colour of your car. Going to be interesting to see how this one works out, and also change the model between two different types of cars. As far as I can see, there's no difference in terms of performance. It's just an aesthetic thing. So I'm looking forward to my red car colour clashing against the background. Developed by Panel Developments, Nigel Spate coded the game. Also coded games like Miami Cobra GT and Future Bike Simulator. So we're waiting at the start line. 75 seconds to complete level 1. Get ready. And go. Okay, so I'm not clashing against the background, so that's a good start. Big sprite. Very big sprite. It's a 1959 Chevrolet you are driving. Your speed is indicated by the rather poorly defined indicator on the bottom left, along with the steering wheel and your gear indicator. There's a high and low level. Apologies for my driving. The only joystick control available is Sinclair, and the only joystick I have, or joypad I have available, is my Cheetah Bollocks joypad, which is particularly bad on driving games. Great for platformers, but terrible for driving games. So I'm not doing particularly well here. It's big and colourful, which makes it stand out from other specky racing games. Over to the C64. And again, you can select your car and your colour. We will go with brown, for no reason at all on the C64. But look at all this colour. And, well, for a C64 racing game, it's moving very well. I thought this would be an utter disaster. But no. The handling is very different from that Spectrum version. Well, it's a big American car, so I can't really complain. It's handling poorly and sliding around, because the originals probably did. Apparently you are racing to meet your girlfriend at a diner or something. Racing, there's no positions, you're just against the clock. So it's a little bit tough to get past the other drivers, which are always the same cars, just different colours. Power-ups are available apparently when you get to the auto shop, so we will see that when it happens. It's nice and colourful. Oh, mind you, most Hi-Tec games actually are. They seem to have a way of being able to... Well, they've got a development system that clearly they can port the most colourful game possible to each system. Partly because they got put under pressure by Hanna-Barbera, who were wondering why the graphics looked nothing like their cartoons. And Hi-Tec and Power Developments especially, very prolific between 1989 and 1992, when Hi-Tec went bust. So into level 2, and we're on to the Amstrad version. Got some music. And just this pause at the start where you wait to go anywhere. And I was looking up reviews of this game. I couldn't see many, to be honest. Your Sinclair gave away a demo version of it, but never reviewed it. Crash reviewed it, gave it 77%, and said it was a fun race game using a car we haven't seen computerised before. But that's it. Weird borders on the Amstrad sprites. If you look, when they overlap the side of the road, sometimes you see kind of grey blocks around them. I don't know why. Possibly something to do with the conversion of the graphics. I've changed cars on the Amstrad because I had to enable a time cheat so I could get to the end of level 1, basically. It's Chevy Chase has an unfortunate habit that we will see in a minute that can make it impossible to complete a level at random. We will see that. It's very colourful and nice. Coded by the same coder as Miami. Here we are at the Auto Centre. Once you have PC games, when you used to have to auto center your joystick. So what should we select? Nitro boost, fuel injection, automatic gears. Although there's only 2 gears and changing down is quite handy just because it gives you the braking. Let's go for new tyres. Should give me more grip. Bumper will enable less slowdown when you hit other cars. Now, what I'm going to be talking about nearly happened there. So yeah, with a new bumper, you don't slow down as much when you hit other cars. Nitro gives you a higher top speed. Nitro gives you higher acceleration. Fuel injection gives you higher top speed. And new tyres gives you better grip, which is handy because on the Spectrum and Amstrad version, the default grip is terrible. It's the first upgrade you're going to want. The repetitiveness of the gameplay becomes evident as you play more of the game, and we're on to the Spectrum version. We've completed section 1, we're on to section 2, where it's a sunset, hopefully, not some massive forest fire or something. Here we go, this is the problem you have. 2 cars will be driving alongside each other, and you cannot get past. There's not enough room. You can't go around the outside, you can't go through the middle. You can keep hitting them, but all you would do is slow down, and at this point it will be game over because you won't make the timer. Luckily I am cheating with a poke. But yeah, this is fatal, and all the versions do it. It just happens randomly. You can't predict when it's going to happen. Go into the Auto Centre, so perhaps they've disappeared when we come out. So what power up should we have on the Spectrum? Let's go for Nitro Boost. No, they haven't disappeared. They're still there. But if I slow down and stop, I'm wondering if they will vanish. If the game tracks cars when they're off screen. No, it doesn't. So there we go. That's easy enough. But then again, you'd lose enough time to not be able to finish the level. It's only because I'm cheating. I've got the luxury of doing that. Onto the Amstrad. We've got some houses. It's like driving up those sections of the A1 where people step out of their houses into... Oh, there's a man on... what is going on there? Those sections of the A1 where people step out of their houses straight into the dual carriageway. You know the ones. It's very strange. I drove up there the other week. Alright, so it's a very colourful game with lots of levels. Each... the Amstrad appears to have a multi-load. Can't say if the Spectrum or C64 have, but the Amstrad does, because you can hear it accessing the HXC floppy image. What have we done there? And we're on to the next level. Oh, look at this. See, it's like this is trying to be Outrun, isn't it? The Outrun influence is pretty clear here. I like this. I like the idea there's sea on one side and flats and stuff on the other. Very nice. You can't choose your route. It is just section after section after section. And it's very samey. So we completed the level on the C64 and you get a graphic. And this is the same level on the 64, which, is that C on the right-hand side, or is it a load of question marks? Or is it something else? Perhaps it's not the same level. What is it on the right-hand side there? Please put your descriptions of what you think it might be in the comments. I'm saying a mess. This is pretty good for a C64 racer. It moves very well. Huge sprites. They've got an engine. Now, this engine probably has almost... Well, there's no version of Miami Cobra GT for the C64 from memory. Is there a version of Future Bike Simulator? Because I'm betting all 3 games share a fair amount of code base. In fact, is there 16-bit versions of Future Bike Simulator? Because I thought there were 16-bit versions of Chevy Chase, but not that I could find. Now someone's going to say, oh yes, there's ST and Amiga versions. As you go on, the lack of gameplay becomes rather evident. Hi-Tec were a software publisher who really needed to get games out and boy, did they churn them out. Back to the Spectrum, where the sky is now red. And my car is now green. I had to play this game a few times because I had phone calls when I was playing it, and I used the HXC to pause the game, and when I came back out, the game crashed. Level 3 complete, so this is the C level on the Spectrum. Not that you'd really know, because it doesn't work as well as on the Amstrad. You can't really drive off-road, you just continue at the same speed until you hit something. So when there's sections of no obstacles at the side, you can just use that area and just steer into the edge of the road, because nothing will happen. And that's really all there is to Chevy Chase. On all 3 systems, it's a visually attractive game and moves beautifully. The trouble is, for your $2.99, what you're getting is a lovely feast of graphics and variety of scenery as you drive through, but no variety of gameplay, because you'll only ever have one type of car. They always come at you in the same way, and it becomes rather repetitive. The only thing keeping you going is seeing different areas like the sea and the things like Outrun with the bridge type gantry type things that you go under. It's a shame really, because there could be something pretty special here. They've got a solid engine on all 3 systems, and there's many full price games that can't say that. But they've got it running, and that's it. No variety of overtaking, gameplay breaking, things like the 2 cars being in front of you and not being able to get past, and the game not memorising if cars are behind you or in front of you. So if you overtake a car and stop, the car won't be behind you again. Likewise, if a car goes off the screen, the game's forgotten about it. In short, this is a game that needed more development. Have a quick look for the graphics, and especially that C64 version. For, ostensibly it's a decent engine for a budget game, but I'm afraid there's no gameplay here, and that's a real shame.